Hey guys, welcome back to How to AP Lang. Today we are going through one day more. What can you do with one day to your AP Lang exam? So, this is officially the last video I'm making on this channel for a very long time because at this point, I've done every bit of review I can really do. I'm currently filming this, I believe, 3 days before the AP. This is Sunday, so the exam's on Wednesday. I just posted, I believe, my last real review video. I might make one more today to get out on Monday. But we're really at the end of this. There isn't much more to do at this point. The exam is in 3 days and then that's it. That's it all. And I think a big piece of this is a really big test. So what we're going through in this video is just what can you do in one more day? What are you going to be doing the night before? Because I am taking AP exams this year. There is a lot of pressure the night before, like, you feel like you have to keep studying, there's always more to do, and that isn't what you should be doing for this exam, so I'm trying to just give you, like, what are the things to look at for the last day? What can you really hammer out before your morning exam on Wednesday? So what to do on the last day? Um, Review basic material or anything that you're struggling with. If you are still not getting how to write tone, how to identify the tone of the passage, what the audience is, what the purpose is, those are things you gotta nail down. I think I'm really at the point of saying, look, if you don't got this stuff by this point, you're in a bad position. But if you don't have things like that, you need to get those hammered down. If those are big concepts that you're not getting, you kind of have to like get those underway. Like for something like AP World, if you're missing a few details about things or not, that's okay. But if you don't fully get like what the Cold War is, you kind of are in a sinking ship. So it's things like that. You need to get those basic ideas down. But if you have those, you're fine. Again, make sure you also have down the basic functions of the essays. Make sure you know what you're walking into. Know that you're having 2 hours and 10 minutes for synthesis, rhetorical analysis, and argument. And this leads into my next one. This is the most important thing I'll say in this video. Review the criteria of each essay tonight. Or yes, tonight, because it'll come out on Tuesday. Review what the synthesis essay is going to look like, what the argument essay is going to look like, what the rhetorical analysis essay is going to look like. Review what they're looking for, review the criteria. This is huge. If you want to go into the test not even having to read the instructions for the questions, you want to just say, I know that I have to write a thesis, get 2 evidence points down or whatever. Mention 2 rhetorical devices, whatever it may be. You want to go into the test knowing exactly what you have to do because the criteria isn't changing. So you don't want to go into the test and be like, wait, what is this essay about again? That is the most important thing you can do tonight. You want to make sure you have down what you're walking into. You want to know this is how I get a 6 on these essays because you're likely not going to get a 6 on all 3, but it's at least good to know in the back of your mind how you can get a 6 on all 3 going into it. You don't want to go into it blind because that's going to eat up time. And you only have 2 hours and 10 minutes to do these essays. So you really want to go into it having as much of an overview of those essays as possible. Make sure you have basic rhetorical devices and strategies ready for the test. Know some rhetorical devices, know how to read tone, know keywords to pick out in pieces, highlight things, whatever it may be. Have strategies ready for this exam. You don't want to go into this exam and be like, wait, what am I doing again? You want to have those strategies down so when you're taking the test, you're kind of smooth sailing throughout it. You really want to you don't want this test to really sneak up on you. You want to be able to kind of attack it. So have those rhetorical devices down, have those strategies ready. Don't let that sneak up on you. And go into the test not having you want to go into the test not being worried about specific things. You want to have everything down pretty well enough so that when you're taking the test, it's okay. You're like, okay, I'm calm. I'm going to do well on this test. You really don't want to take this test feeling almost pressured for time, feeling like you're not knowing your strategies. You really want to have strategies going into it. You want to have your big picture things down, things like that. That's what you really want to go into it with this last day having. And that's a really crucial piece of this. Don't do much tonight overall. If you're prepared for this exam, you should really not be doing much because this test is more of an endurance test than anything. So you really don't want to burn yourself out. These tests are annoying. This test is a really annoying test. You don't want to go into it being exhausted already and like struggling to answer these questions. You want to go into it ready to kind of attack this test. And if you're already exhausted from it before, if you're getting 5 hours of sleep, you're not going to do well. You want to be rested. You want to be relaxed out when you're going into the test, especially with it being a morning exam. You want to be ready to be like, okay, I'm going to put effort into this test. I'm going to do well on this test because that's not where you want to be struggling. That's not where you want to falter. You want to go into it really ready to do well on the test. You don't want to go into it kind of wishy-washy in a way. Don't let the clock stress you out. You want to be ready to do well on this test. Tonight, I think the big thing is just being able to calm yourself down, being ready to say, look, I'm going to have a clock above my head for this test, but knowing how to handle it. For some of you, this is your 10th AP. For some of you, this is your first. And I think that's a really big difference that you're going to feel when you're taking it. I had a friend who just took their first AP exam this year, and they were stunned by how it was A push, about how much A push pushed them. And no pun intended. And if you are in a situation when you are not ready to understand how that clock's me affecting you, that's something you want to kind of prepare yourself for almost. But if you've been fine timing on other exams, this is not the hardest exam to come with timing. Is it as easy as like an AP Psych? No, but it's not terrible. And you want to go into the test with an open mind. You don't want to go into it worried. You want to kind of really be ready to attack it. And most importantly, get sleep tonight. Don't go into the test being exhausted, overtired, because out of every test, this is the most important one to be alert for, because this is the test that they will be squirming little one word things to screw you over on. This is the test they really want to mess you up on, and that kind of sucks to be in that situation. So I really hope you can conquer that, and getting sleep is a big piece of that. With that, that is my one day more analysis of what you can do. That is a Les Mis reference if any of you are fans. But point being, with that, that is the end of How to AP Lang. This channel began with like 3 views a video, and I began it this year because I took Lang last year, and I was like, why not do a fun channel to help you guys prep for Lang, prep for things like that, because I had friends who were like really struggling to prepare for Lang last year, including myself. I didn't really know how to study because there weren't really many guides, so I felt like, why not try to make one? And I really hope this channel has been effective in trying to help you learn how to do well on this test and things like that. This test is a test I really believe everyone can do well on. I think all good writers can really do well on it. And I really hope that this channel, at least, even if it hasn't improved your skills or anything or taught you so much, I hope it at least is giving you some more confidence on what to do on this test, because really we have so much on the channel to offer. We have units, we have essays, we have multiple choice practice, we have really everything you can work with under the sun. So I really hope that this channel has really kind of shown you like, hey, this test is definitely possible to do well on. And I really hope that it benefits you guys when it comes to this test, because I really believe that everyone can do well on this test, and I really hope that this channel has at least helped you in some way get to that point to believe that you can get a 5 as well. And with that, that wraps up How to AP Lang. I really hope this channel has been helpful this year. If this is your first video you're seeing, or this is like the 10th, 15th, whatever it may be, I really hope that this channel has been effective in teaching you some things about AP Lang. I hope it's gone through a lot of things. Again, this is the last video I'm making for a while. Next year, this channel is probably going to be altered into How to AP Lit, which should be a fun little alter, because AP Lit's what I'm taking this year, so I'm probably going to do a nice little switch up to prep for that exam next year and do the parallel what I did this year. But yeah, I really hope this channel's been helpful. I hope you guys are confident for tomorrow. I really wish you all luck. I really hope it goes well. After the exam, comment on this video of how it goes, essays, things like that. But really, I believe everyone can do well. I really hope you all do well on this exam. And with that, that's going to close out this chapter and this year of How to AP Lang. I really hope this channel has been helpful, and it has been great making these videos. I've really enjoyed it throughout these past 10 months. And with that, that is How to AP Lang. This is one day more until the AP exam. Good luck tomorrow. Get some sleep. Review the criteria. And that's it for AP Lang. Good luck.